welcome to Inside the Newsroom, and welcome to the Digital Desk. I'm Maddie Paul. Inside the Newsroom, we're going to bring you the trending stories of the KELOLAND area, and of course, we'll bring in those Newsroom staff members to talk about the stories that you see every day on our newscast and online at KELOLAND.com. You know, yesterday I was telling you all that I have a little bit of a cold going on, so I hope today you'll forgive me once again if I sound a little sniffly or a little congested and stuffy. Gonna get over this, and I'm gonna definitely disinfect the digital desk afterwards so that Scott Munt, Brian Carstens, and Grant Sweeter and the rest of the sports team can take over and make sure that they give you all the content that you need right here for KELOLAND Plus. But just bear with me, okay? We're gonna do this together, hand in hand. If you're sick too, twins. But let's get started with what's really happening for Inside the Newsroom today. We got lots of trending stories to get through. And for the first one, it's been 10 years since Harrisburg High School's Vitality Stays in Focus on a school shooting anniversary. The then assistant principal's heroic actions diffused a terrifying situation when he tackled a student who had shot the school principal's arm. So Dan Santella looks back on the day through the eyes of someone who was in school, as well as the current superintendent.
10 years ago, Harrisburg High School experienced the kind of day which has become part of the story of so many schools across the country in recent years. But as current superintendent Jennifer Lowry points out, September 30th of 2015 was an outlier.
Yes, 10 years ago was a very difficult day and tragedy. But it's not what defines any of us. What defines education and the metro region and the reason that you live in South Dakota and the reason that we are communities is that the people that surround us are amazing.
Ryan Anderson was a freshman at Harrisburg High School that day. A decade later, the events have him hoping anyone struggling can find peace.
I think more people should look for help, and if that's the message that gets across today, I think that'd mean the world to me.
10 years later, both Lowry and Anderson share praise for Ryan Rollinger, whose heroic actions subdued the shooter. For Anderson, Rollinger held more than one role.
Today I definitely took pride in the fact that, that's my neighbor, my hero.
He's a great individual and a great man.
But Lowry makes clear her admiration comes from so much more than the heroism of a day 10 Septembers ago.
That day is one day of a legacy that he's left on this community. From being a graduate to a teacher, coach, principal, he's a highly respected administrator, but more important, a highly respected person. Not only for one day, but for what he does day after day after day.
And Dan Santella joins us now at the Digital Desk to talk more about this story. Dan, I want to start off by asking, how did you find the people that you talked to for the story? Because it's super interesting that you found someone who was attending school at the time.
We have someone in the newsroom who was aware of that person. And he thought that could be someone we might be able to talk to. And that was how we started to make that connection. Mm-hmm. And then I reached out to the Harrisburg School District, but I also reached out to their former superintendent, Tim Graff, who was able to connect me with the current superintendent, Jennifer Lowry, and that is in the end how I was able to start a conversation with her.
This story is very significant now because obviously it's the 10-year mark that has passed since the event, but is there any other element you'd like viewers to consider regaining significance to the story that makes you believe so important right now?
There was real hesitancy for Dr. Lowry to talk with me.
Oh.
Because, this is a heavy topic, a difficult topic, and school shootings is not something you want to be talking about a lot, right? But she said, if I will do an interview with you. And as you could hear in that, in the story, she really was focusing on the community as a whole, its vitality, just how Ryan Rollinger is a great guy for that day, yes, but because of so many other days. And she really focused on that in her interview. And so that's, of course, then how I that really wanted to focus the story.
Yeah, you had very powerful like interview moments, the way that they were speaking and what they said. You barely even talk in the story, in my opinion. You know, you kind of let them do the talking. Was that intentional?
Yes. Yes, because sometimes the best stories are like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and that happens, I think, in journalism with like, sometimes the reporter does the best job of describing something, putting in context and establishing the who, what, where, why, when, hows, but sometimes we just want to hear from the people.
Right.
And yeah, this is a prime example of one of those stories.
Do we know what or where Ryan Rollinger is now, or what happened to the student with the gun?
He's Rollinger's currently the principal at Harrisburg High School. I had reached out to him, as you had heard. The superintendent described him as, quote, very humble. But I wanted to reach out to Rollinger to see if he wanted to share anything with me. I didn't hear back, and that's all right, of course. Mason Buell is currently behind bars at Mike Durfee State Prison in Springfield, South Dakota.
Is there anything else you'd like viewers to know about this story, Dan?
When you're doing a story about such intense violence that shook a community that also could have been so much worse, we had a lot of conversations in the newsroom yesterday about what's the best way to responsibly cover this story. And I was really happy with how that shook out, talking with our executive producer, Anna Peters, and news director, Beth Jensen. I thought we had really good talks about what's the best way to cover this. And I think we executed it really well yesterday. And just working with Anna and Beth yesterday, that made me really happy. And it's typical for them. That's how they operate. But just another example of the good collaboration we have.
Dan, thank you so much for giving all these details right here at the Digital Desk. And everyone, stick around. We got more trending stories to get to. But first, let's talk about those tiny, biting pirate bugs that are invading parts of KELOLAND. Wondering what this means? Well, Tom Hansen has the answers. He'll come on Inside the Newsroom next after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. People in the southeast part of KELOLAND are getting bit up, not by mosquitoes, but something else. Tom Hansen explains.
They're tiny, less than a fifth of an inch, black, and they have quite a bite. They're called minute pirate bugs. They usually hang out in farm fields feasting on aphids and other insects. Minute pirate bugs are a farmer's friend, but when the corn and the soybeans dry up, well, the bugs they eat, they're gone. So they come to parks or even your yard looking for food.
They are hungry, so they are moving to areas that are still green and lush and pretty much just test biting anything they land on.
Like many people in the Sioux Falls area, Chris and Jen McEwen have been dealing with the little biting bugs.
Mainly in our backyard.
In the park, on the bike trail, walking in from my car to work, pretty much everywhere.
SDSU urban entomologist Amanda Bachman says the southeast part of KELOLAND, and especially the Sioux Falls area, are seeing higher concentrations. They're not dangerous, but they do have a needle-like probe that hurts when they bite us.
They are piercing our skin, and then they do release a little bit of that saliva, and some people do have a reaction to the saliva. However, minute pirate bugs, we are not part of their life cycle, so they're not feeding on us for an extended period of time. It's pretty much a poke, you're not an aphid, and then they're moving on with their lives.
Bachman says insect repellents don't work for pirate bugs because they're not attracted to us in the same way that mosquitoes are. Your best defense is to wear long sleeves and pants.
All right, Tom, I guess we got to start swatting away these pirate bugs. Well, if I guess maybe they don't fly, but why are they called pirate bugs?
Because they're so aggressive.
Oh, I don't like that answer.
Yeah. No, they're not trying to eat us. In fact, they don't like us.
Oh, perfect.
They honestly, it's not like a tick or a mosquito that, they're after our blood. Mm-hmm. Pirate bugs, they don't want us, but they're just taste testing us because they're hungry.
When she was describing needles, the needle part, I was like, ooh, yeah, no.
How we came on this story is we were visiting some friends my wife and I were out visiting some friends, and they have a lot of flowers and a lot of garden and a lot of plants. And we kept getting bit by these little tiny bugs. And Carmen's like, you got to do a story on that because I've heard from other people that these bugs are out. And by gosh, a lot of people are talking about them.
Right.
Everybody's getting bit by these little things.
Yeah, I'm getting bit up by all sorts of things. But do you know why we're seeing pirate bugs right now, this time of year?
Yeah, because they're usually in the farm fields.
Yep.
But once that corn dries up and the harvesting starts, they're getting out of there because they're looking for their food. Well, their food left. It's no longer once the corn and beans dry up, the aphids, they're gone.
Yeah.
So they're going to our yards and the parks and green areas looking for bugs to eat because they don't eat plants, they eat bugs. So.
Well, one thing that stood out for me in this story, Tom, was all of your visuals. You're saying the food is out of the cornfields right there, but there you were standing right in the cornfield, your new food supply, getting ready. But you just had a lot of striking visuals. I love in this shot how you're there and then you walk away and we're in a new space and you pop back in. It's just really fun to watch.
It was. It was a fun story to do. Sophie, the photographer, was spot on with this one. She gave me direction on what to do. Said, okay, walk this way and then walk this way. And we just had fun. And she's the one who kind of put that together, so it made sense.
Oh, I love that. Was that like a plan that you two came up together, or was Sophie directing it all?
Yeah. When you're doing a story like this, you got to have some fun.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out, okay, how do we didn't have much video of these little bugs because they're so tiny. And the day we were out, it was so windy, they weren't out.
Oh, they're flying by.
You're trying to figure out, okay, how do you make this visually appealing to the viewers? And so we thought, well, we need to have some fun with it.
Yeah, your answer was just to have fun with it. Yeah. I love it. And, striking stand-ups are always really important for me. It really puts me in the headspace of like, what is the reporter doing and how that connects with the story. And again, just because you took like a fun angle on it, it really resonated with me a lot. It makes me smile. But then I remember what you're saying, and the information that you're giving. So
you'll see, I don't do stand-ups for every story because if a story is real visual, then
that's the story.
Why not let the video speak for itself? So, some stories call for them and some stories don't. This one called for it.
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't have any bugs on you, though, during it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not just mosquitoes, but these little pesky, aggressive pirate bugs.
Pirate bugs.
I'll never forget this.
Minute pirate bugs.
I'll never forget this.
So Amanda Bachman, who I talked to, the entomologist, she's just such a wealth of information.
About bugs, yeah.
Hey, can we talk? Oh, well, they do this, they do that. And she just knows her stuff, man.
Yeah, it's really fun. Is there anything else you'd like viewers to know about this story, Tom?
Well, if you didn't know what pirate bugs were, now you know. A lot of people, because they're so small, less than a fifth of an inch, and we were calling them no-see-ums at first because we didn't. My wife and I, we didn't know what they were, so because they were so small. But and it's amazing that something so small can hurt so much when it bites you, right? Have you been bit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And be so aggressive about it. Again, the needle. I don't want to.
I know.
Nope.
I know.
My eyes are out. Wearing the long sleeves, like you said.
There you go.
That's it.
By the way, that was Sophie jumping into the picture.
I wondered if it was like with the long sleeve part and the jumping in. I was like, or the spraying. Was that you? Okay. Yep. Not too many
the
secrets
spraying
here.
was me.
Not too many secrets here on Inside the Newsroom. Tom, thank you for having fun here. And everyone, stick around. We're going to keep up with some fun. Many of you have sent in photos over the last couple of days to our You Share folder. So we're going to be reacting to some of those photos and giving you an inside look about how you can send your photos so that we can react to them. Inside the Newsroom will be back after the break. Welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. Now, before the break, I said that we would be reacting to some photos sent to us from you guys, our viewers, in our You Share folder. And I thought having Scott Munt around would be kind of fun too, right?
On?
You got a jingle for this now?
No, but...
Oh?
No, hey, isn't that the jingle from Boredom Busters anyway?
Oh, it is actually. What's going
right?
on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually it is.
I'm stealing from Perry now.
Oh my goodness. I should have gotten Perry here for this. But no, we're going to look at a couple of photos that I found submitted from viewers to our You Share folder. And then at the end of this segment, I'll show you all how to send in your photos so that Scott and I can do more reactions. Or maybe Perry and I will. What's going on?
Are you waving to me or who are you waving to?
It's like the Force. So then they actually start doing it. All right, let's get started, Scott. So this first photo, this is from Michelle. And she said that she saw this rainbow last night in Sioux Falls while she was driving home. And she has a question, Scott.
Go.
I wonder if you know the answer to this or not. I don't know. I figured you would because you're a science guy.
What do you have?
She asked, what is the official term for this kind of rainbow?
The official term for that rainbow.
Do you think you know?
I don't know if there may actually be an official term for that rainbow.
Other than rainbow?
To tell you, a what?
Other than rainbow?
Maybe an arc rainbow. Well, I guess it doesn't reach the ground. And I noticed one yesterday in the
like
evening.
this in Sioux Falls?
Yes.
Well, obviously in Sioux Falls.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the softball field.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And the thing about it is we had rain falling from the cloud, but the atmosphere is so dry that it wouldn't reach the ground. It'll dry up before it reached the ground.
Oh, okay.
So you had those rainbows that will come halfway down, too. I thought it was pretty neat
Yeah.
seeing them.
I wonder what she means by this kind of rainbow, because it's like the cloud is kind of, what's it called?
And it looks like it
my
could be,
sick brain's so
it's
foggy.
broken there in the arc.
Maybe
Just,
that's why she's wondering
from the
what
way
kind.
that the photo was taken.
Yeah, this is over in Sioux Falls, kind of by Avera. She said, Michelle, thank you for this photo. Here's our next photo.
It's neat.
This was from 2 days ago. This is from Louise. This was from Sioux Falls. And she gave a cute description. She said, a butterfly enjoying fall purple flowers.
Yeah.
Isn't this a cute photo?
And how about those flowers with this extended warmth that we've been having?
Okay.
As long as you're watering them,
Yeah.
I think they're doing well.
Well, this photo was submitted 2 days ago, so we know that we're still good about keeping these flowers out and about. And the monarchs, I don't know if I actually have seen a lot of moths and butterflies around.
And bees.
And those pirate bugs, as Tom Hansen was explaining. All right, I have one more photo for you, Scott.
Sure.
Here's our last photo. Another rainbow.
Rainbow.
Yep, this was actually 2 days ago as well. And this was in Miller, South Dakota. And this was from Kathleen. And she said that this was during rain on the morning of September 29th.
Yeah.
Another little rainbow. Lots of rainbow photos, but that's what makes it so much
It's
fun.
always neat. Those are always neat to see, isn't it?
You like the rainbow ones?
Oh, I mean, can you not go anywhere where there is a rainbow and somebody points it out? Oh, look, a rainbow.
Rainbow.
No, I'm serious. What happened last night?
Have you ever tried to follow the end of a rainbow before?
No, I didn't.
Never?
Have you?
I think I tried when I was like a kid,
Yeah.
but I didn't believe it. And I was
Find
also
some Lucky Charms?
I was terrified of leprechauns as a child. Terrified.
Well, then why would you go follow the rainbow?
I didn't.
Don't they
That's
go
the
hand
thing.
in hand?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like my sister wanted to
I
go.
thought you said you did as a kid.
Can I explain the story? So I was trying.
Might be my last time on.
I was trying to. My sister wanted to, but I was too scared of a leprechaun because when I was in daycare, it was like during St. Patrick's Day or something like that.
Okay.
And the daycare said, "Oh, if you guys like be careful or not." I forget if it was a disciplinary thing or not, but there was this threat of a leprechaun that would come to the daycare. I guess it wasn't a threat. It was supposed to be like a tee-hee kind of fun thing, but I took it as a threat that this leprechaun would come. And so this leprechaun came to the daycare and destroyed the room, like the playroom and the cafeteria and something else, like toys were knocked over everywhere, chairs were thrown over, and I was terrified.
Yeah.
And the leprechaun's name
was... Yeah, I can see that.
There was a name to this leprechaun. It was Barney. And so now I always think of Barney the leprechaun, and I'm terrified of Barney the leprechaun because of it.
Do you have a description?
Leprechaun.
That's it?
Just look for leprechaun. But, oh my gosh, these sniffles. I promise viewers, tomorrow this will get a lot better. You tell me, is it a weather-related thing?
Well, we could have high allergy problems.
I don't even have allergies, I don't think.
Well, then you got me on that one.
Stumped. Once again, I stump Scott Munt. Maybe that's our show. Stump Scott Munt.
It won't be hard to do, and it won't make for much of a show either.
It just happens every episode.
I don't know.
Well, Scott, I'm going to put you on the back burner for a second because I'm going to explain to some viewers how to use UShare. Okay. So UShare is something that we have on our website. It's really accessible to get. So all you have to do is find the sections up here. We have news, weather, sports, watch, marketplace, blah, 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 blah. There's the about section. If you go to or just hover your mouse over it, you can see this UShare category right here. If you click on it, it will take you to this webpage. This is UShare. This is how you could submit your photos and your videos to us, and then we can use them for our newscasts, for stories, or for segments like this with me and Scott, where we can just look at your photos and talk about them. It's actually really easy to use. All you need to do is click right here to upload some photos or videos. As it says, you can choose up to 6. And then we just ask for some information like your name, your email, description of what kind of photos you're sending to us. And then just click this box right here that just says that we can use the photos for whatever type of content purposes that it serves. And it's honestly just really fun to see what kind of photos you want to send in. I really like the weather-related photos or pet photos. Scott, I want to see some pet photos. That would be like a dream come true to see at this point.
Otherwise, you like the weather ones.
The weather. Yeah.
Those are always fun to see.
When we have severe weather, it's always really interesting because people capture those like tornado photos or whatever
Hail,
it could be.
and unfortunately
Hail.
damage that goes along with this.
That's true.
And you know,
we see
not
that.
far away, we'll get patio furniture
Oh,
covered with snow.
no. How do you find a way to mention this every single time you're on the show? Sneaky Scott. That's the next show. Sneaky Scott.
Sneaky Scott, the leprechaun.
Now that's not funny. That's going to give me nightmares tonight.
God.
I'm already delirious with this cold, and now you're trying to make me delirious for my dreams.
Cold. Hey, you got this weekend. It'll still be warm all the way through the weekend.
I did bring my blanket, though,
And
just
then
in
cooler
case.
next week.
Just in case.
And I don't want to talk about what's going on for the second weekend of the month.
I
For that, you have to
know.
watch Whether or Not.
I know, you already mentioned this. Okay, so what do we
Okay.
have for Whether or Not today? Because Brian's back with you, right?
Brian's back, right? So then we go off a couple of different tangents. So when we get to the outline, if you do watch Whether or Not, we usually put together an outline as to what you can expect to get some information on. And I don't think we followed that outline as well. It's been a while since we've worked together, so we kind of went off on a couple of different tangents. But we do talk about the weather pattern, something that we've been looking at since the summer when we had a couple of cool downs and when that's expected to return. We look at that. We look at some record warmth and what happened shortly after getting that record warmth in past history.
Ooh, history.
So
How far
a
back
lot
are we
of the-
going?
Oh, gosh. 1897, I think, is the year that Brian was bringing up from time to time.
See, he just knows these things.
He know. I mean, my goodness. I mean, he's
Knowledge
great
bank.
at that.
Mhm.
And he usually brings up these years, and I got to stop and think. Okay, I'm good at looking at the numbers and digesting those numbers and what our patterns and trends are. But he does a great memory on what year it was when it happened, because this happened at his house, or this happened later in the year that stands out to him. And not that he was alive in 1897, mind you.
That, yeah, very important information
he
to
can
know.
look at it and he just remembers it right away. So, yeah, he's a great guy to work with too.
No kidding. This
So-
sounds like a good episode of Whether
We
or
have
Not.
a lot of info in there. And we had to cut it short, too. We were running out of time.
I bet,
At the end,
yeah.
we started talking about our gardens, which probably didn't help.
So you have an or not segment?
So, kind of. It's just us going back and forth. We
right.
don't have any photos that you just went through on how to, share your photos on YouShare.
I know. So everyone, you have to go ahead, use YouShare so Scott and Brian can talk about them, so Scott and I can talk about them. We all want to talk about them.
Yeah,
Scott, we're running out of time. So I think we need to
It
say
goes by
goodbye now.
fast every time I'm here.
I know. We'll cry about it right
that,
now.
The time just zips on by.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Until next time, have a great day, everyone.